11:38 a.m. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in the mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference, lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. You do? Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you! Now then, I need to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Kazuma-sama? Defendant Naruhodo, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. That's the spirit. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Oh my god, I'm so lucky to have a friend like him, huh? If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dreams of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then, I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. I'd like that. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yeah, I have learned the prosecutor's name is indeed called Aochi, as in, like, if you hurt yourself, ouch, ouchie. Whatever. Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. Entirely unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. But you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. Thanks for saying that, and I believe that's true. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is it what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England? Shut up, you jumped up, rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. They've misspelled maneuvering, I'm pretty sure. I won't deny that I'm no expert, I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Oh, everyone's impressed. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite a wide-eyed look of terror. You little rats! Thank you, Kozo. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Josiah Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Okay. Ooh, very elegant. Wow. Wow, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. Oh, they try so hard to accommodate the guest. Is that true? No idea. So, could you possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I don't think he meant you, Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but yes, we all know all about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. Kazuma, you're traveling to Great Britain and did you not study their customs? More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Kazuma! Are you falling for her already? Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Fair enough. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Ooh, what's with the mask? Okay, we don't understand anything, it seems. Oh, is she speaking English? Maybe. And I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? Okay. The lady says her name is Josiah Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. Oh my god. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. So, you do speak English, Kazuma? Yes, I agree. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Oh, I can speak English as well? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. And yet, I don't seem to be able to understand her. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says yes. That was a long answer for a simple yes, okay. But we believe you. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. What's this excuse? Like, the police bureau, like, just made her vanish. Like, they cleaned up her. They cleaned up after her, right? Making sure that no one saw her and stuff like that. That's highly illegal. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. Exactly! I was just following special orders from the bureau. Why now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. I swear, if she says that I did it, I'm gonna go crazy. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Lady. Oh god. Okay, of course, like, the only possible solution is she killed Dr. Wilson, right? But it's gotta be pretty hard to convince everyone of this. Just because she looks so pretty? Order in court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Why is she masked like that? Is it carnival season or something? Okay, I don't think we can press on that. I have arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. What? Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning testimony. Yes! No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Objection! Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at the snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Because dresses don't have pockets, you mean? I have a thing she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. Okay. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. How about in your chest area? Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, she smirks. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Okay. A beefsteak. That's correct. They got into a fierce argument. Let's press on this.
Yes!
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all speak English. Ouchie, then learn to speak English. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman, Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Oh, she's smirking. Okay, shot him right before her eyes. Let's press on this as well. What kind of evidence do we have? So where was she sitting? It still bothers me that, the stake is on the side where the professor is sitting, because this looks like the stake is for the professor, right? For Dr. Wilson? So where was she sitting? I wonder.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but... Oh! But all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time, the highly suspicious lady! That will do, you dirty rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. Heh, heh, what nonsense. The lady is merely stating what she saw. Oh my god, she's smiling at me. Look at that smirk. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose the testimony, as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that and an opening will present itself, I promise you. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for. Oh, thanks Kazuma, I can always count on you. What about the hiding gun part?
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely, I verified it personally. You verified it? Ooh. Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. Wow, he is good. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." What? That's all you did? You just asked her? Okay, I take it back with a good detective. Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps. Take what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Can we have like a confirmation of that? Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Yeah, not to mention that. Not get her out of there, I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she is in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Oh, sorry about that. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in the court today, of course. Like a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. I'm learning. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out totally unfounded lie. Yeah, we've heard all that. Let's look at the statements further. So I think the only statement that I haven't pressed on is this one. No, this one I also haven't pressed. I pressed on that, I pressed on this. A beefsteak. Should I press on that? I did say I find it a little bit weird that the steak was on Dr. Wilson's side of the table. But he was unable to eat after all, so I don't know what will come.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Horta clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water, but there's only one glass, right? What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? Oh, that last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case, is it not so? Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? Oh. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Okay, the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Let's present this. There's only one glass here, right? Isn't that right?
Yes!
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene, that it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is this? What is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Oh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutiae, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. I don't know about that, I don't believe that. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! Sorry. Oh my. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. Must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable young and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Huh? What do you mean, Kazuma? It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse this court with logical reasoning. But in the end, it comes to nothing. No pretentious accusations, you have wasted enough time already. You don't confuse someone with logical reasoning, you reason someone with logical reasoning. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth, we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No, I'm not. Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag. Yes. That's where she could have hidden the weapon. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was a handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Aochi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Oh, Inspector, are you okay? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Huh? What do you mean? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. What? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Oh god, what is this? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Her handbag is transparent? As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. The both of them tilt their heads the same way. What is the meaning of this?